That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the melody to Funky Town. Won't you take me down to Funky Town?
No, tally the entry code.
For what?
Welcome back to the Fairweather Friends podcast. As always, I'm Veg. Across the table from me, Ricky Reyes.
Hey, how's it going?
Unlike normal, no guest today. Ricky?
Yeah, everybody wants to be on, but nobody wants to be on.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've had a lot more interest lately. People are starting to want to come on and talk about different stuff. But being adults and all having jobs and wives or lives or whatever.
Trying to do it in the middle of the week is a little tough.
But the show must go on.
Indeed.
Our last podcast is now our most downloaded with Lori, Haley, and Hoop.
Congratulations, guys.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Haley, it was worth it for you to get that wine drunk.
It definitely was. And then she came over and we did the live stream of Seahawks Cowboys. Got like 160 people checked into that. That was kind of cool. Some random people.
Actually, some feedback while we were talking. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I thought we would only get people who we knew because we shared it on Facebook. But apparently people look on YouTube for live streams of games and just check them out. One guy said he watched like 30.
Well, if you don't have the cable and you're just looking to watch the game without having to pay, you might find a stream, how they play it backwards so they don't get caught or something. But we literally didn't have any footage of the game or anything. We were just talking.
It was just us. I don't know how to mess around with that crap. One thing I liked about our last podcast is the first half of it was non-sports related. Clearly, we're always going to talk some sports almost every podcast, or at least pretty often, because we like sports.
That's why we started the podcast in the first place.
But I definitely think if we can, like one of my favorite podcasts is Doug Loves Movies. Doug Benson has guests on, and they first half of the podcast is him talking to them, introduce them, see what's up, ask them the last movie they saw, prize bag stuff, and then they jump into games. So if you're not into the trivia games, you can just turn it off at that point.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should kind of do that with sports. Just if it's not all sports, make that the second half.
Easy enough.
And if we listen to Hoop, they'll all be sports. Because apparently podcasts are meant to be about sports.
Even though Hoop doesn't listen to any podcasts.
No, he doesn't even listen to ours. He just asks if he gets a lot of downloads. But as you know, Ricky, I've been struggling with finding full-time work. So obviously we just talk about ourselves. We had no guests, so talk about the fuck we want. Trying to get on as an electrician. Struggling.
Yeah.
Posted on Facebook. Got a bunch of responses today. But in the meantime, I've been mostly making my money through Uber.
It doesn't seem like a bad way, but the hours are pretty shitty.
Bellingham's pretty good, but it's not a big city, so it's not quite great money. Not that I think it probably is in the big city either. I do want to thank Christine Smithberg, friend, gave me some hours that are the catering company in Seattle, Foods, she works at. I mean, she needed help.
Good friend.
It was a mutual beneficial arrangement to work there. Shouldn't need me anymore. Holidays were crazy. Now another friend is going to be working on Saturday, Sundays, so they should be good unless this dude Eli quits because he's looking for other work. But that was nice. Didn't have to Uber for like a month and a half.
Got to stay in Seattle for free?
Yeah. Her parents have an apartment that is vacant at the moment, so otherwise I would have done it.
That's not a bad deal.
I'm going to pay to drive there back and forth and everything. But always looking for more ways to make money. Have you ever Googled ways to make money, Ricky?
Never have.
So I did this yesterday. There's a whole bunch of them. Shit ton of them, actually. First one I found was getting paid to take surveys.
That sounds terrible.
It's pretty shitty. Surveys suck. And most of the surveys I didn't qualify for something. They ask you about yourself first, income, all that shit.
You're a middle-aged white male. You should be. Everybody should want your opinion.
Yeah, they even had asked you like political affiliations and whether you supported Trump. And it's like I always said no, and those surveys I always got declined on. They're like, you don't qualify for this one.
Do I lie to make money?
I don't know what answers they want though. You never know. Found a couple other ones though. There's an app that lets you do free scratch tickets. You just have to sit through ads before every scratch ticket.
That's a good time killer if you're making money as well.
I did it like for an hour last night. Won $1.
Gotta be careful on that though.
Careful.
Yeah, you're sitting there for a whole day and then all of a sudden.
No, okay. So the scratch ticket one, there's only so many you can do each day. You have to wait for more. They have tokens too, which you can use to either enter into like win money or redeem it for gift cards and shit. But even that, there's only so many you can do. And a lot of them, they're like, yeah, you can enter this or get this scratch ticket if you download and use some app, which not doing that.
Yeah.
So scratch ticket one's pretty good. The best one, you actually earn experience playing online games on your phone.
Not a bad way. Not a bad way.
It definitely doesn't make shit. Played for like poker for like 2 hours the other night, and earned not even enough for a 50-cent Amazon gift card.
You too bad you can't online gamble like back in your prime.
Bodog, that was good stuff. Definitely didn't work out in the end. I was up from my $100 deposit up to like $900 at one point though.
That's pretty good.
But then I think I got impatient and started gambling too much. I started putting
As
more
one
money
does.
on basketball games and shit. A lot of weird prop bets and stuff. Yeah, a bunch of random ways to make money. Now I forgot the name of it. The other Postmates is now in Bellingham, so I'm gonna get on that. But hopefully I can find an actual job and only do those things on the side.
It'll get you through at least for the time being.
Only because I live with my parents rent free right now. Although my student loans are more than I paid in rent before I moved there.
Damn.
But so our last podcast that we're talking about was your announcement of your fiance.
Yeah, I got engaged.
Sounds like you guys are leaning toward Vegas, although that would mean a reduced invite list. Well,
Yeah. Well, invite list stays the same, just so everybody knows.
invite list would be big. Not many people probably will come.
Nope, I wasn't expecting many people to come to the regular one, but since it's going to be such like a hassle to get her here, we kind of want to have a celebration for the wedding,
Of course, a lot of
And
people
not-
would come for the regular one.
not have the stress of actually planning a wedding, just have the celebration part.
That I understand. I don't want to plan shit like that. But the biggest obstacle is the fact that she lives in Calgary, Canada,
Yeah,
and you live in Cedar Valley, Washington.
I have to start the petition to get her over here.
Yeah. So what is this? What is this process? I know you had told me before you guys have got engaged that makes it a little easier if you're engaged.
If we're engaged, yeah, it's easier to get the ball rolling. But it's a 15-page application that I have to fill out, as well as a $535 fee just to get it started. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Petition and a fee. So do you have to get other like friends and family to sign the petition?
No, I think that's just what it's called to get her in. And
Oh, okay. It's not like
Into
a
the
regular
country.
petition where it's like get 500
Yeah.
signatures and then.
that'd be sweet to get for every person you get $1 off or something.
Yeah, that's shitty. $535,
And
and that's no guarantee.
yeah, and it can take up to seven months to a year for that to get cleared, and that's how we get it started basically. So
Well, I know she wants to come down.
yeah, she's excited.
Has she had any other job? Because when she was down here last time, she applied at the
She did have a job interview, but they weren't willing to sponsor her.
the one in West Seattle, because she's not an actual vet. They wouldn't, because it cost. She said it cost 30 freaking grand.
Yeah, to get sponsored by work, you have to actually be have a career, solid career, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You have to provide
with how
something
much
to the
vets make. It's a drop in the bucket to pay 30 grand to bring him in, and then you're going to pay him 70,000+. But for an assistant or whatever, I guess.
you have to make a solid contribution to the country of the United States of America. So you have to be a doctor or something like that.
Well, I mean, isn't it the company's choice? I guess we don't know. I don't know why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And because I know she said that company wouldn't. They said they can't do it, but I don't know if they meant because the owners don't let them, or if she meant literally you're not allowed legally to do it.
I think it was more of a they couldn't do it type deal.
Okay.
She did go with one of the more nationally known companies.
Vets.
Yeah.
So she's just a regular vet assistant, or a vet tech assistant.
She's an assistant, yeah. She's not a tech. But it's different here in America than from Canada. We were allowed to do more things in terms of help here in America. So there's a couple things she didn't know because she's not allowed to do it in Canada. It's shit against the law.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's like the story she was telling us, the last one, where someone tried to go to Canada to give a natural birth after having done a C-section before, and even Canada was like, no. And so she still spent a bunch of money on it. But this is a good time as any to just let everyone know that currently I've revoked my my official approval of Lori because she sank to supporting Ricky's Cowboys
Hey.
blindly. It is. She did a rebuttal that it's too late.
Sure,
So-
she's already got the shirt.
She's
Came straight
she's
from
got
Dallas.
The shirt.
The official team pro shop.
Oh, okay. Well,
One of her friends sent it to her as an engagement present.
I'm just really down on these girlfriends, fiancés, wives, just blindly supporting their significant others' teams.
You know, in my prior history, it's been blind hatred towards my team, and they've always liked the exact opposite team.
Pretty
So
much
this
how
is
it
pretty
was
nice.
with me. Kelly was a Colts fan, so she at least had a team coming in. She wasn't anti-Seahawks, but everything else we did, it was rooting against me. Board games, things like that. Even if it was a group event, she'd root for everybody except me, which was always felt very loved there.
You like Zoe and Ted on How I Met Your Mother.
God, I haven't watched that in so long. I never did watch the last season. My roommate at the time, Ryan, just
She's
filled me in because I was never going to do it.
it's heartbreaking. Poor the mother. Brings tears to my eyes every time I finish. I've watched it like 5 times all the way through.
And then didn't it turn out that he was just asking them if he could date what's her face,
Robin at the end.
who they called Aunt Robin, even though
Yeah.
she's not really their aunt. Okay, so I know how it played out.
The mother randomly dies of cancer after we spent all the time waiting to meet her. I think it was cancer. I don't remember.
I forgot about that part. I knew she had. Well, I don't know. I guess I knew she had died, but I guess speaking of TV shows, you keep getting on me about watching Atlanta.
Great show.
I've heard great things, and I like.
I watched the whole first season
Donald
in one
Glover.
day. Paperboy.
Is it one of those shows that's only like 10 episodes per season?
Yeah.
All right. Do they have the 3rd season out yet?
No, second season just finished, and that's the one that just started on Hulu.
We're gonna have to get you watching Game of Thrones too.
Eventually, I got to start.
You got like 4 months before the last season comes out.
Shit.
I only want to rewatch the last season. I don't want to rewatch the first 6 because that's like 600 hours of television,
God damn.
and you won't remember most of the characters by the time you get to the end of.
What do you prefer, the books or the TV show?
I mean, the books are always better. You actually get to hear what people are thinking and then more of their motivations. So then when they do something, you're not like, whoa, that person murdered that person. You're like, oh, I knew they hated them. That was coming.
Yeah.
That's not surprising that they did that. I mean, maybe surprising that they murdered. It's usually a strong step. It's so hard to watch TV now, though. There's just so much fucking stuff to watch. I watched this show Travelers on Netflix, but time travel, people coming back to try to change the future because the future's so bad.
That's cool.
It was a good show.
Never heard of that.
I feel like I spend most of my time just trying to just figure out what to watch and not actually watching stuff.
Mine is most of my TV time is a rotation between Sunny, How I Met Your Mother, South Park, and Classic Simpsons. And then I rotate between those 4 and never let anything else new in there.
So I do that with shows like when I'm going to sleep. So Sunny's always in rotation. 30 Rock, I think, is probably the most underrated sitcom ever. It's right there with Office and Parks and Rec, which are also in my rotation.
Office has quickly become the most overrated show just because there's so much fucking internet presence for The Office.
Well, and the problem with it is that they continued it after Michael Scott left the show.
And back in whenever it was actually running, you spend every day trying to get all your friends to watch it. Everyone says no. It ends, and then they start watching it. They're like, oh, this show's fucking awesome. Like, told you that 7 years ago.
I don't even like starting shows that aren't done anymore. The same with like a book. I don't like to start a book series knowing that I'm going to have to wait years for the series to finish.
That's true. Waiting for these Marvel movies is getting kind of tough.
Oh, are you... So these Marvel movies, same with like Game of Thrones, are you someone who likes to actually watch all the trailers and like hear the theories on what's happening?
Yeah, and because Kevin Smith does the podcast about it. And that's usually how I get all my information.
So I don't want to do it. I don't want to know. 'Cause then anytime I hear conspiracy theories or whatever, then I spend the whole time thinking the whole time, like, is it going to be that? Is that going to happen?
That's true. Well, I don't know. It's fun to think about. If you're like, you get into it, you fall down the rabbit hole pretty quick.
I guess I've done it with like I did it with the Game of Thrones books, because that was the whole. I guess you won't really understand that, but J. Oh shit! Now I forgot it. L plus R equals J. No, let's see. Rhaegar. Yeah, R plus L equals J. It was, one of the main characters is Jon Snow.
Yeah.
The last name Snow means you're a bastard, but there was always theories that he wasn't really Jon Stark's son. And so I read all the forum things, and that theory was just way too easy. Like, it was not a hard twist to figure out. Like, everybody knew. It was like, as soon as you read once, you're like, oh yeah, that's 100% what it has to be. And I heard that actually the showrunners for that, before they got to make the show, they sat down with George R.R. Martin, and he asked them who Jon Snow's dad was, and they gave an answer, and then George R.R. Martin gave them approval to do the show, and the theory was, oh, well, they knew that it was him. Why would he even ask that if it wasn't, or if it's actually Ned Stark, why ask that?
That's a good point.
I don't know. But the point is, I hate all these Game of Thrones and Infinity War Endgame trailers. I'm like avoiding them like crazy because I don't want to know. I even
Did you watch? You didn't watch Far From Home trailer?
No.
Damn.
Well, no, I saw the trailer because it was in the theaters, but I didn't really think about it much.
There's a bunch of Easter eggs that give away like who he's fighting and stuff.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I
Yeah.
saw an article that supposedly the trailer like ruins Endgame.
Oh shit! Well, Brad has a theory that this is a different future that has happened after the snap.
That Far From Home is.
Yeah. So the Spider-Man was in the Civil War, but
Well, I mean,
doesn't.
I guess it gives away that he comes back, but I assume.
Oh yeah, him and Nick Fury.
I assume people
Right?
come back.
Me too. I think that's a pretty common assumption with everybody.
Actually, I think the Captain Marvel one gives me more pause because I'm like, well, wait a minute. We had aliens attack New York, and Fury didn't call her.
Yeah.
He had this thing the whole time. He could call Captain Marvel and try to ask for her help, and aliens attacked New York, and he didn't call her.
Well, maybe he wanted to see what the Avengers were made of. At the stake of
At
the
that
Earth,
point,
but
they
still.
weren't even working together. He had to trick them into thinking.
Exactly. What is it, Agent?
It's a bull. You risk the entire Earth on.
Maybe these guys will pull it together.
So that
It's
one
like the
actually bugs
Celtics.
me more.
Yeah, maybe they'll figure it out.
Celtics.
We got all these awesome parts.
It's a weird situation. We can definitely get into that.
The Lakers are more like fucking Thanos. LeBron just comes in, takes over, has his little minions, brings in Tyson Chandler. Fucking who else?
It seems like they're going to have to make another trade if they want. I don't think they should even try to compete this year. I think they should stick with what they have, and then
I think they're going to by default because Nuggets I don't take seriously ever, just because they're Nuggets. Rockets, Harden can only play a hero ball for so long.
he's always drained in the playoffs.
But fucking, if he's putting up 60 points tonight, then
But fucking.
yeah, but BUTT fucking.
Is there another Marvel movie coming out? Because wasn't there 4 last year? So we got
Far From Home.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, Far From Home and Endgame. There's not
That's the
Black
next
Panther
3.
going to be yet, right?
No.
I know they're working on another one. Also, Guardians Galaxy 3. What's that going to be like with a whole different director?
Yeah, and Batista might not even be in it because he's such a big fan of James Gunn.
Really? I think they all should have petitioned to get him back, but now it's too late because now he's doing Suicide Squad 2, which, why is that a movie?
Maybe they'll bring back El Diablo.
Well, actually, I thought Suicide Squad could have been good if the Joker had just been the bad guy. Like, why they had this weird
Yeah,
pharaoh, like, I forget, it was a weird
The
Egyptian,
the
like,
Enchantress.
yeah.
Who was a part of the actual Suicide Squad, just went off on her own.
Was she?
Yeah, she was part of Suicide Squad.
Not in the movie, was she?
Yeah, because she's part of the team. She's Rick Flag's girlfriend. Who,
I might have to
Got
watch that
possessed.
again. I don't
Yeah.
remember that at all.
and they had control of her because she had her heart in the suitcase or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been so long. I did watch the Justice League movie not that long ago after watching Aquaman. DC's, I mean, they're kind of getting better, but I actually liked Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse better than Aquaman. And Aquaman was good. I liked it.
Haven't seen that yet. I was going to go see that today, but they didn't start playing until like 2 hours after I got there.
And then Miss Creed 2. I have to wait and download that.
It should be coming out. There should be an Oscar screener, I bet, online that you could find.
It probably is. I thought
Not
about
to
looking it up.
download. Not to download.
I did go watch Vice, the Dick Cheney movie.
Oh, was that good?
It's interesting.
Adam McKay.
It's definitely interesting. And they do it in a funny way and stuff. Kind of like The Big Short was. But to
It's crazy.
Scary
Think of,
stuff.
Adam McKay started off with Saturday Night Live, Anchorman. Now he's doing all these big political movies.
Well, in that movie, like they basically make it like politicians choose Republican or Democrat not because of issues, but based on basically how they can rise the easiest.
Well, look at Trump.
Ride people's coattails. Yeah, Trump was a Democrat and then a neutral, and now a Republican. I don't know. But movies, they're great, but I hear a lot of complaints that like it's all blockbusters. Like they can't get movies approved that are like a $30,000 budget, which seems weird.
Yeah. The death of the middle movie is
Yeah.
Netflix is partly to blame for that.
I love movies. I really want to go on Doug loves movies. I think I would get my ass kicked, but I've watched it twice, and he's going to be in Tacoma Saturday. I still might try to go see it, but I don't know. Probably not. I need to Uber and make some money.
I get off at 3.
This
What
video
time
game,
is it at?
It starts at 4:20
Fuck.
because he's a big stoner.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So his Saturday shows always start at 4:20. The 2 times I've gone, they were later because they were like weekdays. But his are fun.
The only stoner podcast we went to was Jay and Silent Bob. That was me, Colin, and Kyle Fox.
Oh, and with his, like I was talking about how he does it like halfway through, he switches to the games, and he always says, let the game, Bert, turn it off, let the games begin, because Bert Kreischer doesn't like the trivia games. He always says his favorite part is the beginning when people are just BSing, and then Bert Kreischer was just here. Didn't your brother go?
Yeah, I got a picture with him after the show.
I was pissed because I was actually in Seattle that week.
I was surprised he didn't show up.
I had no idea. I forgot about it. Someone had posted it on Facebook a long time ago, and so I put that I was interested. And so then it reminded me. Of course, it reminds you when it's like the day of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks, Facebook. You could have reminded me 2 weeks ago, and I could have seen if there's tickets. And then my friend Mary, her roommate, the guy she was seeing was like, hey, you want to go? She's like, yeah. And then he procrastinated on tickets, and then he couldn't get tickets together.
Ouch.
But then like the day of or the day before, she decided to double check and see if any came up on sale, and she found 2 together that were like 3rd or 4th row center, and they were selling for the same price as like the cheap seats.
Damn.
So they nailed it. And then we know, I think Whitney went, posted on Facebook.
Tyson went.
I saw so many people posted they went to that. I was pissed because his Netflix special is hilarious.
I'm never really into the Joe Rogan guys. Him, Ari Shaffir, and
Bert
like,
Kreischer's not a Joe Rogan guy?
yeah, he is. He's on. He does the Sober November or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I like. Yeah, that's.
Did you watch his special Secret Time on Netflix?
No,
You should watch it.
I was
It's
way
pretty
into
funny.
John Mulaney, and I just watched John Mulaney over and over again.
So yeah, Bert Kreischer, and then a guy who he did a weight loss contest with, Tom Segura.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's
Him,
got
Segura, Ari
three on
Shaffir,
Netflix.
and Joe Rogan. They all do that together. So
Oh, I had no idea. But
consider
Segura and Kreischer are pretty funny. Kreischer and Segura are like the exact opposite. Kreischer laughs at all of his own jokes.
he's a pretty funny guy.
I mean, he also doesn't wear a shirt. Even when he does the podcast with Doug Benson, he takes his shirt off.
Is he the one that does the podcast with it? No, that's Segura. Never mind. Because Matt listens to all these. My brother.
I can't keep track. Everyone's got a podcast. Like, I would love to listen to all theirs. I can't keep track and listen to them all. I don't have time. I don't drive around as much as I used to.
It's part of the joys of walking, is I get to listen to a podcast as I walk. It's one of the good things about having a dog. You just go out into the woods and turn on a podcast and walk with the dog.
I did. I actually did that yesterday with my mom's dog. Went and walked up at Northern State. Local place here in Cedar Woolley, old insane asylum. So there's old buildings out in the woods and trails, and then they made a disc golf course there. So there was people disc golfing. It's just a weird area. But yeah, I did that and listened to podcasts for like an hour and a half and walked around. My mom's dog, for some reason, like kept wanting to turn around and go back. Usually she's the type of dog that drags you, but she's getting old.
Poor
But we started adding, I guess I kind of was doing it, but on our Instagram account, all the podcast accounts I can find to get that support. There's so many podcast
Everybody's
profiles
got,
on Instagram.
Well, fuck. You got to figure out a way to get yours to break through.
It's great. Well, and you don't need a huge audience, I don't think. And
You just need a solid following.
Either way, it's just fun. So hopefully, if you're listening to this and you have a podcast, message us on Instagram. We'll follow you or subscribe. Hopefully, you'll do the same. Remember, it's not about listeners. It's about downloads, because that's all they track is downloads. And then like we did the YouTube thing. That was pretty fun. I don't know. Seems like as good a time as any to do our first running segment we've had. we blowing up
Booyah.
because we can do it anytime. So this is the segment where we practice sponsors for when we blow up, which is inevitable, obviously. So
What do
we will be right back after this word from our sponsors, or word from us
sponsor.
on behalf of our sponsors, which are fake.
So it's really just us practicing.
Hey, Ricky, would you consider yourself a good chef?
No, not at all.
Me either. But you know what anyone can make and is delicious?
What's that?
Macaroni and cheese.
Damn right.
So this episode is brought to us by Macaroni and Cheese, no brand specific.
Yeah, it could be in a box. It could be homemade. If you're in a rush or you want...
I'm down with boxed macaroni and cheese, although I really do need to learn to make some real good creamy cheese sauce. I'm noticing more and more restaurants serve macaroni and cheese, and it does not seem that hard to make restaurant quality macaroni and cheese.
No. I've made it in the past with no cheese sauce, just cheese. Comes out pretty good. Just add some milk.
The fuck's going on outside? I think our studio is going to blow over. It goes with everything, right? Can you think of anything that would not be good to have macaroni and cheese on the side of?
Nope. It's always a crowd pleaser.
I agree. So this episode, again, brought to you by Macaroni and Cheese. If you've got a product you would like us to sponsor, let us know. As long as it's not a big brand, we'll do it. And otherwise, back to the show. And we're back. So we're going to let you in on it. We haven't recorded it yet. I literally we went silent for 2 seconds and said we're back. But we will record it, and you will have just heard it, which will make this explanation kind of pointless. I wonder what we're going to do. I wonder what it was. We haven't decided yet.
Nope. Hopefully it was good.
Yep. If you've got, hey, you know what? If you got something you want us to promote, we'll promote it with our fake sponsors. It'd be like a real sponsor, as long as we're not promoting some real company that doesn't need it for our 40 listeners.
We're like EJ with this Need Us Stat of the Night. Brought to you by no one.
Another segment we talked about doing was random articles, doing what was going to call it, trash or treasure, where we let our listener decide on what articles we talk about. But instead, I just pulled up a bunch of random weird news headlines. Figure let's see what's going on in the world. We can call it what's going on in the world. There's some weird ones in here. I was looking through it earlier. Police raid home for meth and also find dead bald eagles.
It's terrible. It's the worst crime you can commit in America.
It is, but I'm also kind of impressed that someone who's making meth was able to kill bald eagles.
Did he make the meth so that he could kill the eagles? Because I think
Is he
that's
raising money to buy a rifle.
that's the only way. If you're high on meth, that's the only way to catch an eagle. They're too cunning.
I can't imagine killing a bald eagle on purpose, man. And
They're
then
so
the
majestic.
Mariners just traded away a pitcher who was blessed by bald eagles. James Paxton had a bald eagle come land on his shoulder,
A Canadian citizen was blessed by it's the highest honor you could receive.
and now he's a Yankee.
God damn it. He was our ace. Now we don't have an ace.
I don't know. Wade LeBlanc said he doesn't feel like the Mariners are taking a step back. It's kind of funny because the Seahawks did all their moves, and I never felt like it would be as big a step back as most people felt. But the Mariners,
Feels like a step back. Well,
so many guys. It's so many guys.
we didn't have Cano for how long
We
last
lost
year?
our ace and our closer who had the second best season ever.
Closer hurts.
We lost our number 4 hitter, our leadoff hitter,
Fuck.
2 of the most important
I
hitters.
forgot about Nelly.
Cano who missed half the season because of suspension, but whatever. Also, yeah, Segura. We lost Segura too in trades, and they're already talking about Haniger, finding a trade partner for Haniger.
Haniger has a boxer dog. He must stay on the team.
We got to promote, support boxers. All right. NASA discovers South Park character Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, on Jupiter.
This is
It's
wild.
just a fucking brown blob. Like why they decided it's Mr. Hanky? If you don't know from South Park,
Does he have a
there's
hat on?
No, it doesn't have a hat on. So Mr. Hanky in South Park is a poop with arms and a Christmas hat, a Santa hat,
And a jolly spirit.
jolly spirit. What does he do? You know better than I do.
Well, he spreads Christmas cheer, so that way everybody believes in.
And everywhere he goes,
But-
he leaves little poop prints.
This year on the show, they got rid of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it was the episode where they bashed Apu and the Simpsons for the Simpsons keeping Apu, even though everybody hated him.
You mean for them getting rid of Didn't they get rid of Apu?
Well, they did after, but
that's
at
right.
the
They
time,
kept him, and then they
Yeah.
backtracked on it.
So they banished Mr. Hanky away from South Park.
Oh, just to like
Show that you can do it.
mock it.
Yeah.
Mr. Hankey's not up there with Mr. Towley for me.
Yeah,
the
Towley.
pot smoking towel. It was like genetically engineered.
Have you seen him this year?
No.
Whenever. Oh my God, it's so funny. Randy starts a weed farm, and then his tester is fucking Tally.
It reminds me of Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping, where you find out at the end that one of the band members who was out, who they said was a farmer, turns out he's a weed farmer and has like this huge successful weed farm, and he still has a nice studio and everything.
That's a great movie.
I love that movie. It's so underrated. If you're listening, you haven't watched Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping. It's the Lonely Island group, Andy Samberg and them. It's so good. It did not get the due. I think it's slowly growing.
It's in the MacGruber category.
If you like MacGruber, you'll like it. That's for sure. All right, next article of what's going on in the world. Afghan singer looks like twin brother of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Dun, dun,
Which
dun.
immediately made me start wondering, is Justin Trudeau an undercover Afghan who's taking over the Canadian government to start a terrorist cell to attack America?
That's brilliant.
Are we building the wall on the wrong side?
Are we on it? Is this an episode of 24?
Oh, man, we should write that. We're not writers. If there's anyone out there who's from, like,
The only thing you
India
have to do
or
to write
Palestine, who's a good writer,
is write it
sorry.
down. That's the only thing stopping us, Big.
I wasn't really being racist there. That was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, inside joke. They wanted a writer like M. Night Shyamalan for the twists. That's the only reason I asked for someone from India or Palestine.
But we know the twist.
So we can do like they did in It's Always Sunny. We could do the poster and have like the, the, what do you call that? The line that explains the movie. But we need someone to write the script.
Do the dirty work.
We are not script writers. Not an old lady, though. I don't like their demographic. Sorry, Always Sunny again. Same episode, literally like 2 lines before. All right, the next one. Florida Man. I love this one because I saw this a few days ago.
This is why you need to watch Atlanta, because they do the Florida Man episode.
They have a Florida Man episode?
Yeah.
All the worst shit happens in Florida. But Florida Man threatens to kill a neighbor with kindness, which is what he named his machete.
Dun dun.
I'm not gonna lie, that's genius.
I mean, yeah.
You just leave out the fact that kindness is like your shotgun or your machete, and they think you're being the nicest neighbor ever.
Kill them with
And
kindness.
then they don't wake up the next day. Only in Florida.
And then they watch their loved ones get hacked before their own eyes.
Not a great movie, I don't think. It does remind me of, though, I saw the trailer when I went to Vice for the movie Us.
No,
It's the horror movie where they
the-
get attacked by like themselves. There's like a family that comes to there's like a family, and it's the dude M'Baku from Black Panther is the dad. Love
Is
that
it-
guy, and I think Lupita Nyong'o is the mom.
Is it the new Jordan Peele movie?
I think so. It might be. I'll have to look that up.
Get
But,
Out was.
Yeah, some people show up at his house, and he goes out there, and he's like, "Hey, we don't want trouble," and then he gets a bat and is like, if you want trouble, I can make trouble or something. And then all of a sudden the kids shoot out to the sides, and the dad and the mom come walking up, and they got masks, and then they finally figure out who they are, and it's them. Yeah, directed by Jordan Peele. It's coming out in March. I'm getting more into horror movies now. I finally watched Get Out.
That one would have been fun to
and
see in the
brother-in-law.
theater.
It would have been because people start. I think the reactions would have been good. So I want to see Us, and that headline kind of reminds me of that. I don't know why, just because it's a horror killing thing. That one's kind of lame. Curious cat gets head stuck in rat trap. That's got to happen, like
Cats are done.
100 times a year, right? I mean, that's got to happen a lot. The rest of these are getting pretty dumb. Let's see. Man helps thirsty pigeon enjoy some water from New York City drinking fountain. Real exciting. The
Is that proof that they're not cameras?
that pigeons aren't cameras. What?
Yeah, pigeons are cameras, dude. Birds.
Is that why there's no baby pigeons?
Exactly.
I heard a
Or dead
comedian
ones.
say this a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I've been saying it to people.
Because they're
No one is
fake.
as concerned about it as I am.
It's surveillance.
You never see baby pigeons. Oh, conspiracy! We need to. We need what? Tony B. Is he our
Tony B?
our conspiracy?
Tony B is our woke ass conspiracy guy,
Okay, we need
and
to
then
get him
our
in here.
government conspiracy guy is Josh Rube.
Josh Rube. We should have them in together. That would be interesting.
Ooh, that would be.
This one's decent. How fucking stupid we are as humans. Blindfolded Utah teen crashes car during doing the Bird Box challenge.
You have to be dumb enough to watch that movie in the first place. Cause,
Yeah, I still haven't watched it.
yeah. Netflix originals.
A Quiet Place was good though. Did you watch that one?
Quiet
John
Place?
Krasinski?
That wasn't a Netflix special, though.
No. But this is they basically are like, hey, let's do a movie that's Quiet Place, except instead of you can't talk, you can't see.
Oh, shit. No, I haven't watched Quiet Place yet.
It's pretty good. And they are going to do a second one, which I read about because Krasinski didn't really want to because it wasn't written for a sequel.
Yeah.
In fact, spoiler. No, I don't, should I spoil it?
Yeah, I'm not going to.
John Krasinski dies in it. Like, he doesn't even live to the end.
Oh, shit.
But he said they kind of mind fucked him into doing a sequel because they were like, what did he say? They asked him about doing it. He's like, no, not really. And then they were like, oh, you don't really have any ideas for what you could do? And he's like, well, I mean, I've got some ideas. Like, and the next thing you know, he's basically writing a second one.
Fucking bastards.
So they're good. He gave them credit while also being like, fuck you guys.
That's a mind fuck.
Uh,
Did he? That's another underrated one. Get him to the Greek.
oh,
I love that
yeah.
movie.
That would be a great drunk movie. I haven't rewatched that in forever.
That's a good one.
What is it? Touch the furry wall or
Yeah, Stroke the Furry Wall.
Stroke the furry wall. Oh, it's so good. Did you see his? He has a Netflix special now too.
Russell Brand?
Yeah,
I love Russell Brand.
his new one's pretty good because he goes back and shows all the times he's criticized, and he totally like fesses up to he takes ownership of some of the dumb things he's said and done, but then he also criticizes them for like over analyzing some of the other stuff he's done. And it's like, why the fuck do you even care?
He's got a good podcast.
Does
he's,
he?
He's woke.
God, who doesn't
Definitely
have a
woke.
podcast? Yeah. Well, that's what he's been criticized a lot for the last 5 years. Is he's done a lot of weird little stuff.
It's true.
So there's a thing in that special about the housing. I don't know. I'm not going back into it because I don't even remember. Let's see. Costco now sells a 27-pound tub of macaroni and cheese that lasts 20 years. I want that. I love macaroni and cheese.
Inside, it's just a whole bunch of prepackaged noodles and the dust.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not actually one big
You
thing.
read this one?
No, somebody brought it up on another podcast. It might have been Jalen and Jacoby.
It's a big bucket.
Yeah, but on the inside, it's just prepackaged.
I didn't think it was pre-made or anything. It's just
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be everything all together in one big bucket, which is how it should be.
I just assumed
Sensible
it was just the
portions.
noodles.
That's terrible.
I need to learn a good recipe for a homemade cheese. I don't like that Velveeta cheese. I like to do a
I like
good
it.
3 or 4 cheese sauce. Learn how to make a good cheese sauce for mac and cheese. Start making homemade.
Homemade mac and cheese. Homemade mac and cheese is delicious.
It's so good. I love it. When I was in Seattle working at the catering company, we went to a barbecue place. Every barbecue place has mac and cheese as a side.
Yep.
And it, had this 5-cheese mac and cheese that had a breadcrumb thing on top of it. Parmesan.
Ooh.
It was Parmesan breadcrumbs.
Yum.
So good. The problem was they were only across the top, and it's a vertical tub. So once you're half an inch down, it's gone,
damn.
and you're just eating mac and
You got to have layers.
yeah. Luckily, the mac and cheese was still good, and the wings. They had really good wings. They're huge fucking wings. Also got this place called Marination, which was Hawaiian style tacos and sliders.
Ooh.
So good. If you go to Seattle, West Seattle, and the location's awesome because it's right across the water from the Seattle skyline.
Nice.
So we were there at night. It was 6 o'clock. It's pitch black by then. So just the whole skyline lit up, the big wheel,
Oh, shit.
everything.
I'll have to go there next time.
Yeah, go over to West Seattle, Alki Beach and that whole coast on the Seattle side. And there's so many good places to eat in Seattle. There's a little diner up the road from there too. That's really good.
You hear that, Lori? Veg's going to take us out next time you're up here.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I'll go there again. It was it's a food truck style basically, but it's inside. And so you walk up and order, go sit down, and then come back up, get your food. And then they had a bar for beers and margaritas and ciders.
You've got my attention.
This is genius. Sheriff uses cardboard deputies to fight crime. So they're basically just on the road. They look like they're speed checking, which
Smart.
of course makes everyone slow down.
Yes.
Not that exciting, but smart.
Touche, copper. Yeah, see?
Oh, this is kind of sweet. Ricky, you should have done this. Not really. You're not a firefighter, but firefighter fakes blaze at his own house so he can propose to his girlfriend.
That would have been smart. have the. I don't have the lung capacity to be a firefighter. Otherwise, I might have looked into it.
Do you not? I don't know what my lung capacity is. How do you find that out?
I just based that on the fact I have asthma.
oh yeah, then definitely not. That's right. I forget you have asthma because it never seems to come up. You go running for like crazy, don't you?
I'm a big fan of distance running. Yes.
Nice. All right, back to a Florida one. Florida teacher accused of smearing feces in park before child's birthday party.
Boom.
Wait, is it her own child? Or
Wait,
is it some other kid?
Was it a teacher that just hated this kid so much that she went there and sabotaged his party? That's brilliant.
So a substitute teacher in Florida was so angry with a principal that she smeared human feces around a park pavilion that the principal had rented for her child's birthday party.
It's like the ultimate horrible bosses,
She
real life.
faces a single count of criminal mischief over $1,000. According to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, she was released after posting a $2,500 cash bond.
Ouch. Just for some shit.
A witness saw her wearing blue gloves and a mask, placing human waste and fecal matter on the porous wooden tables and grills. God, people.
Let's ruin it for everybody.
The energy people will put in to trying to ruin someone else's day.
Brilliant.
A man brought a raccoon carcass into McDonald's, causing its brief closure.
Gross.
What is happening in the world? All right, well, that was what is happening in the world, and it's fucking ridiculous. Now we have to get to some sad news, and that's that both of our teams, NFL teams, have gone the way of Hooper's Panthers and are no longer playing.
This is a segment we would like to call Meet You at the Crossroads, and I should have that song queued up.
I like
just
that. Oh, nice. Put it in front of your microphone. I don't know if they can hear it.
Wait, I gotta find the. Just the chorus. Where's the chorus?
A one-time segment. Meet you at the NBA does Gone Fishing. NFL, it's See You at the Crossroads.
Fitting that it's Cleveland.
I don't think you can hear it at all. But
Well, yeah.
Ricky's playing
I'll find this eventually.
Bone Thugs and Harmony Meet You at the Crossroads. So we didn't do a podcast after the Cowboys beat the Seahawks. Interesting game.
There we go.
Crossroads. Oh, whoops. That was such an interesting game just because it was two teams trying to do the exact same thing, and the Cowboys succeeded and had a decent run game and completely shut down the Seahawks run game.
Carson was held to like 20 yards on 13 carries.
And the Seahawks at no point made any adjustments or tried to do anything different until the last literally 5 minutes of the game. Drove down, scored a touchdown.
Doug Baldwin had that amazing catch on the sideline.
It was a
Tyler-
third down catch, too.
Tyler Lockett had the diving catch where he somehow stayed in bounds.
Wilson had some read options. That was our best run plays.
Yep.
Ugh.
But in the end, you're upstaged by Dak.
And if we'd won, we would have gotten our chance to get redemption against the Rams, who had beat us twice. Instead, you guys played the Rams.
And the exact opposite happened. We got run all over. It was terrible.
Yeah, and Gurley, first game back from injury, only 15 carries, I think, for like 109. C.J. Anderson, 25 carries for like 130. And
Hoop your
two
goddamn
touchdowns?
Panthers. All they had to do was keep him for the whole year. Couldn't do that.
Yeah, this guy, he's on his third team of the season.
Then fucking, where you at, fucking Gruden? God damn it.
Gruden, what?
Yeah, the Raiders.
Oh, he was on the Raiders briefly, huh? That didn't make any sense. They had so many running backs there. So, R.I.P. Seahawks and Cowboys seasons.
I guess Gruden gets the last laugh because the Bears ousted in the first round. Cowboys.
What did I see? The Gruden should get the GM of the year because he had like basically single-handedly created two playoff teams by trading. He made the Bears defense like the best defense in football by trading them Mac, and then Cowboys, who their run to the playoffs started when they got Cooper.
Basically, yes.
So GM of the year.
Backhanded.
I got Hook texting me, thinking I'm ghosting him because I didn't text him back. Someone must have a life, Hook. But I'll text you back. I might do poker. And then on the other side, and then the Eagles lost to the Saints. It was a closer game than it looked like it should have been. Like the Saints seemed to be dominating, but never really pulled away.
That's the Eagles. That's what the Eagles will do to you. Somehow, they're always in it. Goddamn Foles.
Yeah, Big Dick Nick. It's over. Philly. Are you?
What would you do? Would you keep Foles or would you go with Wentz?
It's tough. You got Wentz cheap for one more year, right?
Why not just keep him?
His third year, because they'd have to pay him a shit ton. He's going to be $20 million a year. Someone's
Yeah.
going to offer him that. He's an unrestricted free agent, I think.
They're going to let him go. Some team's going to sign him, and then 8 games in, they're going to cut him, and he's going to end up right back on the Eagles.
No, because if he gets signed, it'll be by a team who really doesn't have a backup plan. It'll be like the
But-
Jaguars, Giants.
Jaguars,
What
I've
about the
heard
Giants?
Flacco be mentioned with the Jags. Giants, they're still stuck on Eli for some goddamn reason.
Yeah, it's
It works for me,
ridiculous.
though, because I don't want them to be good.
Well, plus, if they got a good quarterback, all of a sudden that division would be 4 good teams. Well, we don't know.
Well, what
Washington's
about
gonna look
Washington?
like when they
He
get
could go there.
people back?
Alex Smith might not even play again.
Alex Smith might be done. I mean, broken leg.
He had that infection afterwards, too.
Yeah. But, so, Rams Saints, NFC Championship game.
Pretty much what we expected all year long. With
Yeah,
the
I mean,
slight hope of that one of our teams was.
When we did our midseason review, the 4 teams we expected to be in the championship games are in the championship games.
It's pretty much how it's been for like the last 5 years. The only one seed that hasn't made it to the Super Bowl is Dallas. Fucking Aaron Rodgers.
And then on the AFC side, the Chiefs, 32nd ranked defense, decided to be good all of a sudden and shut down the Colts, who blamed their kicker. Andrew Luck did anyway. That was odd
That's weird.
to lose
Luck
by.
played
like,
worse than Dak, which was kind of.
I couldn't believe it. I thought the way Luck and the Colts came out in the round before offensively and just like I thought they would at least make it a fight with
Texans
the
have a
Chiefs.
squad. They bowed down to the power of Mahomes, though. They couldn't do anything in his presence. It's like Thanos.
And then the Patriots, whose offense have been looking bad because Gronk looks like a corpse. Edelman hasn't come back from that injury from last year all that well. All of a sudden, their offense looked fine. Ran the ball up and down the field.
Brady wasn't avoiding hits.
Actually, they really didn't run the ball up and down the field. Michelle, who had like 110 in the first half, only ended up with like 120-something. They were throwing it all over, but they were running it in for touchdowns.
James White got some work finally.
Got some work, 15 catches, tied the record for
yeah.
catches in a playoff game by a running back.
Well, they hadn't been using him because of the weeks prior.
You just never know. Patriots, they can change their entire like identity overnight, depending on their game.
Belichick's got something saved up for the playoffs, you know.
So we, I know Hook invited to come over and watch the Saints game Sunday. I think you're working probably.
Yeah, I work all day. What time is it at? Is it the day game or the night game?
I don't know. Well, it's Sunday. Are they doing them? I don't know why I'm guessing. I have no idea.
Me neither.
I'll find out because I think they're like weird, like 12:30 and 3:30. So I might go and watch that. Maybe do some live videos. And 12:05 and 3:40, and they're the early. They're the 12:05.
Damn.
But man, that's gonna be a fun championship Sunday. The 2 best records are both in the NFC. But the Patriots, this is like 8 AFC title games in a row or something.
They made short work of the second best record in the AFC. Or was it third,
The Chargers,
third best
Chargers,
record, or was it?
0-8. No, they had the second best record.
That's
They had the same record as the Patriots, I think,
12-4.
or they might have the same record as the Chiefs.
I think they did. The
And they
Chiefs
lost.
had
They didn't have the tiebreaker.
better division record or something. Chiefs.
So who was you had the? Did you take the Bears?
No, that was Jared. I never.
When
took
we did
the-
it last. When we did it like
I don't believe in Trubisky, so I didn't pick them to go past like the second round.
I mean, I had Breeze and Brady because I went experience, so I remember that. I didn't trust Andy Reid and Sean McVay yet, and definitely don't trust Goff,
Yeah,
though he looked good. I mean, it's easy to look good when you run the ball 40 times plus.
yeah, he didn't really actually look that good. He just
Oh.
had that one good run at the end of the game.
And when you can have a play action that is that effective, it's the guys are wide open. Robert Woods has been such
My
a
boy.
great route runner. Cooks still is one of the burners of the league. Stretches the defense and safety. Hey, you got another download on the Haley Hoop and Lori app. I don't know. I'm excited about it. I don't know what else there's to say about the games.
Just, hopefully they live up to expectation. It's gonna be cold as fuck in Kansas City. New Orleans obviously lead dome, so that should.
I mean, we should mention also this is 2 rematches from the regular season, which is kind of crazy because they're not in the same conference.
That's true.
They just happened to play each other this year. Saints beat the Rams earlier in the year. Patriots beat the Chiefs. Saints really shut down the run with the Rams was the big thing.
That was a good game.
They had the number 1 run defense. I know someone was saying McVay has to just stick with it, not be afraid if it's not working to.
They didn't have Anderson.
Nope. But they had Gurley. Like, what do you
Healthy Gurley, yeah.
Yeah, they had healthy Gurley early in the year when he was an MVP candidate.
Big fat ass Anderson. It's hard to bring him down and then have to focus on Gurley coming in fresh.
Anderson even called himself a fat little kid running. That's what he described it after the game, and he does. He's a big dude, but he's not super tall. Patriots beat the Chiefs pretty good the first time, right?
The GOAT versus the God. It was like a 1 touchdown game, I think.
But they seem to be in control the whole way, I believe. Let's see if I can find it here. I don't know what I was super surprised the Chiefs defense did as well as it did, and I was super surprised the Patriots offense did as good as it did. Oh, damn it. This is supposed to be...
It's weird. They're both in the middle of the day. You think they'd want a primetime game.
They just never do it on Sundays. They always want them early. Well, because 3 o'clock our time is 6 o'clock Eastern time, or 3:40.
Yeah,
so 6:40 Eastern time.
It's perfect.
They're still not going to be done until 10 o'clock at night over on their side. That's why I love being on the West Coast. I love games early. It's so nice on Sundays to wake up and games are on at 10 a.m.
The London game is actually pretty sweet when it's on at 8 and you're just waking up and you're like, oh shit, third quarter already?
Well, there's been the times where they do them at 6 and you wake up, it's halftime, and you're like, oh shit, there's a game on, I forgot.
It's usually Jaguars.
God, the Jaguars home away from home. Why is this thing saying that the last time the Patriots and Chiefs played each other was 2017? NFL.com, you fail again. That was the week 1 in 2017 when they did destroy the Patriots.
That was crazy.
And then they went on a 5-0 and then choked out the rest of the year. And
lost to the Titans.
And that's why Alex Smith is no longer there.
That's crazy to believe that they lost to the Titans last year in the playoffs.
So who would you want to see? What is your ideal matchup for the Super Bowl? I kind of want to see Mahomes versus Breeze.
I do like Mahomes.
Be like, let's decide the MVP on the Super Bowl.
Mahomes.
Even though they'll decide before then, they announce it at Pro Bowl weekend, right? Is that when they do the honors?
I think so.
That could be like they should make it a tie and be like, winner takes all on the Super Bowl.
Mahomes and Breeze. I guess that would be a good one. I go with the Saints then, just because of Hook.
I can't root for the Rams. They're same division. Like, fuck them. It's like trying to root for the Huskies. Sometimes I try. I tell myself I should because it's good for the division.
They're an LA team. I tend to side with LA.
It's true. And at least they're the more popular LA team out of the two, which still isn't saying a lot. Can't believe it. Phillip Rivers, they need to stop talking about him like he's one of the 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time, because I've heard that.
He's fucking overrated shit.
Like, if Peyton Manning didn't have 2 Super Bowls, he would just be the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. It's like, who cares? Playoff success means something. And when you've lost to the Patriots 8 times, like, come on.
They didn't even have a chance in that game.
Well, I guess we can start wrapping this one up. We're definitely looking for people who want to come on, talk about anything. If you got a cool hobby or job or anything you just are passionate about and want to talk about.
Got some good friends you want to hang out with?
Yeah, multiple people. We can record over Skype. We've been successful at that a couple times.
Yeah, surprisingly.
We're learning more about our mixer and our microphones. Finally got them working properly to where we're actually having to use the mixer.
Booyah.
It took a while.
You guys can hear me now.
And our podcasts are on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean.
I think we have everything covered.
Almost. There's a bunch of random apps that you can download podcasts from that we just don't show up on for some reason.
Well, we got the main ones covered.
We got our buddy Jared Johnson. Oh, yeah, we got our YouTube channel, Fairweather Friends. These will show up on there without video. If we do Skype ones, I'm definitely want to put a version up there that has the video, and we'll do that. I don't know if we'll do that we could do that with our regular ones, I guess. I could always record them.
Might as well.
I don't know how well the audio should come from this too, so it should be good. We'll have to test that.
Should be exactly the same, right?
Maybe we'll test that today after we're done with this. Oh, we still got to record our sponsor. And if, like I said earlier, comment if you got a podcast or a band or a YouTube channel and you want us to support it, we'll support back. Otherwise, I think it's time to call this one good. Hopefully
Good
the
to be
next
back.
one we'll have guests.
Studio F?
Studio F? Is that it?
No, Studio E is what the guys that the Bunt do. So Studio F is just...
We'll have to think on
it's
that.
too similar.
Maybe we'll have something later today with for that. I don't know. I'm drawing blanks on it.
We need, yeah.
Feel free to comment if you got a good idea for a studio name.
And anybody wants to come on, hit us up.
For real, we got to expand. All right. Well, on that, cue the music.